Hello everyone, welcome to Dice Commando. So just doing a quick deck tech episode. This is what we've affectionately known as bad droids, or at least started calling it here because it's obviously not the broken droids. But this is a fun little deck. Amy's been getting a ton of mileage out of this meta. It is single die chopper. Actually, I guess I should have the die in here, but single die chopper. It is double die K2SO and then single R2D2. We are on Theed Palace just for the money. It does seem to work. If you are risky, you could run it on military camp just to try to get the double droid activation. But I think in practice, once you see how the deck works, I don't think you're gonna wanna run it that way. I think you're just gonna wanna run Theed because you do want the money. So let's start with the obvious part of the deck, which is the upgrades. This deck is insanely upgrade heavy, you'll see in a minute. So let's start with the chopper upgrades, the droid mods. I mean, we call them the chopper upgrades. They're not technically droid they're not technically chopper upgrades and go on anybody because you're playing 3 droids. But so we have the 2 grappling arms. This upgrade for 0 is crazy good. It's not an amazing upgrade. The 1, the 2, or the +2, and then the focus. The focus is obviously the best side. Next we have the grappling arm. This card is crazy good, especially when it's coming down for 1. Then we have the rocket boosters. I will be honest, I've seen rocket boosters do some pretty gross things, but ultimately when it comes down to it, rocket boosters is probably best just as a ramp card. The reason we're playing all 6 is really just because you want to drop it on chopper and then do the overwrite to get a stupid good upgrade in play. That's just really the whole strategy of this deck. All right. Furthermore, we are playing 2 Yoda Sabers. So both Amy and I really love this card. Like, I can't tell you how much we love this card. It is a 1-drop with no blanks. It does some pretty crazy things. It has 4 damage sides. And it's also, the reason we're playing 2, even though it's a unique, is this card is also really good for overwrites. It also brings us to 1 Ezra Saber for the redeploy. We love our redeploy value. We have 1 Dagger of Mortis. Again, we love our redeploy value. We have 1 Ray Saber because, hey, guess what? We love our redeploy value. And then we end with 2 Riot Shields because you know what? Keeping droids alive turns out to be a real good thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 upgrades. That is a little heavier than I'd normally like to go. But again, when you're doing the thing with chopper, you can drop a bunch of dice real quick. It's not that uncommon. We see very often that Amy has 2 upgrades down on the board, 2 dice upgrades down on the board, and it works. I mean, ramp, again, chopper can ramp like a champ, right? Especially early. All right, so we do not have any supports in this deck. We are not playing Suppressive Fire. That ended up working its way out over some testing. But we're playing Droid Stay Out. Guess what? It's not on the restricted list with anybody here, completely legal. Get you the card. This card, turn 1, is arguably, again, I mean, it's not a game winner in of itself, but it certainly puts you in a position to do it. 2 easy pickings, because why the heck wouldn't you? It doesn't matter that it's yellow only because it's just such a blowout card. If chopper goes down first, so be it. You then have R2 alive and you'll take it. We are playing 1 copy, just 1, of Flee the Scene. The reason is I would probably play 2 if this was mine, but this deck does move a little slower, and then Amy doesn't necessarily like that card very much, so we've cut it down to 1 because it is very dependent on play style. If you move slower and you kind of dirtle, which can also be very effective with this deck, then I think Flee the Scene obviously doesn't make any sense. So we've cut it down to 1. Automated defense, I don't think I need to explain that with 3 droids. Right, so that brings us to kind of our cheap control options, which AKA for hero means the blue package, right? So 2 motives. I mean, if you're playing blue, you're playing motive. I don't think that's a secret. We have 2 pacifies. So I had been stacking. I'm actually just going to move those to remove confusion. Okay, so 2 pacifies over there. It also, I mean, offensive, defense, however you want. I mean, it's always defensive, but by offense, I mean for removal. We're playing, again, with the keep you alive strategy. We're playing 2 field medics. And then that brings us to the action sheet. So we were playing 4 action sheets, right? 2 instigates, 2 Ewok ambush. I do wonder if the designers of this game had realized how good Ewok ambush was if they'd called it Ewok ambush, because you very rarely actually see it with Ewoks. It does work because you can activate them, but we are talking about droids right now. So there's your action sheets. The action sheets are pretty self-explanatory. They are borderline busted with R2, right? Ewok ambush with a single die R2 is borderline busted. So that rounds out the deck. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Only playing one of for the events, and that's Flee the Scene, just because, again, you don't want to get stuck with that early. And it really is somewhat situational, although a very good card. So that rounds out our version of quote-unquote bad droids. I actually don't think they're bad droids. I think this deck's pretty good. It's obviously no 5-die droid. I mean, no one's arguing with that, but this is a good little deck that we've had a lot of fun with. Rainbow, it works pretty well. So anyway, let us know what you think in the comments, and if nothing else, go Commando.